evening, everyone. Welcome to my channel. For all those who are new, do subscribe and like the video. As I promised that I would be covering something very important, that is Ashtakvarga. For all those who do not know what is Ashtakvarga, it's just like all 9 planets which are in our solar system. They contribute something to our life, okay? Like in certain cases, Saturn might be contributing towards our vitality the most. In certain aspects, Mercury might be contributing to our education the most. There could be that the much talked about Mars, which is for bravery and which is for courage and all the things which contribute to Mars, may give us the lowest score in our vitality. Then there could be that planets such as Rahu. What exactly are these points which I'm talking about? Now we all know that we've got 12 houses on the zodiac. We've got 12 houses of the zodiac, sorry, which is on our astrology chart. Now for all those who don't have the astrology chart, can always get onto any software, put in their details, the coordinates, and get their chart. Towards the right or left, or however the software is designed, you will have drop downs, you will have links which you just click on, and you'll be getting different things such as the Dasha, the Dashas, the planets, KP charts, the Ashtakvarga charts, the birth details which can be edited. After which, see, you don't need to be blank today. The more you are blank, people would scare you with things such as, oh, you have Mangal, Dosh, you have Kalsarpa, you have this Bhukti, that conjunction. Even if your Mars and Saturn are like 10 degrees apart or else 15 degrees apart or maybe 20 degrees apart, still they will say, but it's a very, very big problem because you have Saturn and Mars together. So you need to know, first of all, what exactly your chart is, what it's stored for you. Unless you know that, you will not be able to understand what people are trying to tell you, whether it's right, whether it is wrong. You should at least know which planets are giving you what. That's it. Nobody can fool you if you know what your planets are giving you. Nobody can tell you how to do a gemstone analysis if you know this. Talking about Ashtakvarga, say for example, you've got 12 houses, right? You've got 12 houses on the chart. Now, if you have 12 houses on the chart, what exactly happens? Every house has a planet related to it. Say if it's Aries ascendant, we've got Mars which is taking care of the first house. And we've got Mars taking care of the 8th house. Now, when the Dasha of Mars comes, say wherever Mars is sitting, say Mars is sitting in the 11th house. If Mars is sitting in the 11th house, that means Mars gives you a combination of 1, 8 and 11. Now you go to an astrologer, the astrologer will first of all, some of the astrologers, not all, with due respect to all of us, to all the others which are much, much knowledgeable than me. You may go to somebody who's not that well versed, somebody is new, an amateur you could say. They would suggest you to wear a coral. Firstly, they would scare you that this Dasha has the 8th house, so not a good Dasha, not a favorable Dasha, and God knows what. Now, understanding how this Dasha would be, it all depends upon the Ashtakvarga of Mars. See, every house, like say your first house is it's yourself, it's your identity, your personality, it's how people look at you, okay, your strengths, your weakness, it's all about you, that's why it's yours. Like the 7th house is your spouse, the outer world, business, your partner. Now, if Mars is activating the first house, the 8th house, and the 11th house for this specific person, and you ask the person to wear a coral, there isn't a chance where there isn't a guarantee that this person will go ahead and get those gains. On it all depends upon the Ashtakvarga, that how many points has Mars given this person in the first house, then in the eighth house, and finally in the 11th house. Say this person is coming to you and saying that I am going through a lot of sudden things happening in my life, sudden change, sudden job, sudden gain or sudden loss of money, a lot of problems coming up, or else you could say a lot of surgeries coming up, just small things again and again coming, because of which I need to be rushed to the hospital, something very uncertain happening in my life. Then is when you need to understand that the eighth house is operating. Now, what about the first house and the 10th house? Now, all and the 11th house. Now, all this that is happening is for self. So, you need to understand that even the first house is active. Now, if the first house and the eighth house is active, what about the Mars which is sitting in the 11th house? This Mars by default should give gains, but the person is not complaining of it. But now you need to understand whether this person is saying the sudden that is happening is good or bad. If it is good, that means with the 8th, the 11th is also powerful in Ashtakvarga. If it is not gains, if it is loss, that means Mars is weak in the 11th house. It is not giving gains. Say, for example, in the first house, now Ashtakvarga, the scores, say they start from 1 and it goes on up to 7, 8, 9. It all depends upon how much the planet is scoring. Say, for example, Mars is giving him 5 points in the first house. Even for Ashtakvarga, you just need to go into basic and keep scrolling across and stopping at Ashtakvarga, and you can see your entire chart of how much which planet is giving you what score in which house. Like, let me give you an example. If you're starting with Aries, if in the first house on the chart, in the middle box on your chart, you have one number, and then you need to start from on top. It will be standard. But say if your chart starts with number 2, that's Taurus. So you will start your Ashtakvarga score from number 2. So you will start with 2. Okay, you go to 2, you will see it horizontally, you'll see the number. Okay, number 29, that means your Ashtakvarga score for house number 2 is 29. Going to 3, which is your house number 2 for a Taurus ascendant, you will go and see, okay, my Ashtakvarga is coming up to 33. Wow, I would have amazing savings with me, a good family with me. This is how you would check the Ashtakvarga score. Coming back to the example which we are talking about, say for example, in the first house, Mars is giving 5 points. In the 8th house, Mars is giving 7 points. And in the 11th house, Mars is giving 2 points. What would happen in this scenario? If you look at the chart, you will come to know. Your Mars is acting as an agent to create problems for this person. First is active with the 8th, so you will always come across, sudden. Somewhere if the 12th house is activated by the sublord or as a nakshatra lord, that means the person is not having gains, he is having losses. You would not ask the person to go ahead and wear the gemstone. People ask for gemstones, they just see their dasha, they see, okay, Jupiter is running, and there are some people even coming to wear yellow sapphires and blue sapphires and what all sapphires. Even when you have the planet in debilitation, say you have your planet in debilitation and you come and you wear the gemstone, what will happen? You will go ahead and you will enhance the energy of that planet, which you don't need to take in. If you have spoiled food, you're not going to consume it, you're going to throw it off. You're not even going to give it to an animal, to a dog, you would not eat it. Now, say for example, you want to wear a gemstone. We'll go ahead with the debilitation of every planet, because we've seen a lot of excitations in which the planets do not give results even if you wear it. Say Jupiter is debilitated in the 12th house. Jupiter is debilitated in the 12th house. So that is your Aquarius ascendant. Debilitation for Jupiter will be in the 12th house, that is the sign of Capricorn. This person has Jupiter giving 7 points in that specific house. He's a normal person doing business. And suddenly he comes across a lot of losses coming, and he goes to somebody and they go ahead and tell him that where a yellow sapphire, it's in the 12th house and it's a Jupiter Dasha. And now your Jupiter already is debilitated and it is very powerful in debilitation. And you ask this person to wear a yellow sapphire, it's going to spoil things more for him. Say in the same way that we talk about, say, Mercury. Mercury is an exaltation placed in a good house. Matches, he comes within the exaltation degrees also. And activating houses such as, say, 2511, 259. Mercury is giving a very, very good score in the ninth house. Say Mercury is contributing in Ashtakvarga somewhere around 6 points, which is very good. You can ask this person to wear an emerald. Now, say this person is saying, I already have everything. My concern is kids. I'm not having kids. So, yes, this Dasha is promising kids a kid. They will have kids because fifth lord is active, which takes care of kids. So, wherever you have the 11th active on the nakshatra level or else sub-lord level, if it is active, by default, the person will have kids because it's the fifth lord which is active, which denotes kids. Now, when you get into an in-depth analysis and you see that Mercury itself is giving a very low Ashtakvarga, like 2 points, 1 points, at times even 0, you can close your eyes and suggest that person to go ahead and wear emerald. So this is how you would always gauge. I'll explain it to you once again. If you start with Aries, if your ascendant is Aries, the Ashtakvarga table will be the same. If it's starting, say for example, your Lagna is 3 number Gemini, so you will start counting the points, you will see the points. Any points which is like you can say below 23, 22 are considered to be less. Anything above 28 is considered to be good. By this, you will come to know the strength of the house. Against this, you have all the planets. Okay, Sun is contributing to, Moon is. Then you will know which planet is supporting you in that specific Dasha. Say you're having a fourth house Dasha. People are telling you have all the possible properties and vehicles and yet nothing is coming. It's a question which you need to ask yourself. I am not here to explain you things again and again, and whatever is your problem, you get into that specific house. You see, okay, I'm running on this Dasha. How many points am I getting in this Dasha from this specific planet? There are many other things which are taken into consideration: the transits, the Dasha, the strength of the house, the aspects, your karma, most and above all, the most important, how spiritual as a human being you are, how good are you at it. So understand Ashtakvarga, link it with your Dasha, understand which houses are active, understand when you're wearing a gemstone, what's the dignity of that planet in that specific house which you're having a problem with. Fifth house children, fourth house property, assets, most important inner peace, 11th house gains. So as for that, you your social circle. As for that, you will come to know whether that specific planet in that specific dasha for that specific house is going to give you benefic results or malefic results. As for that, you decide which gemstone. So when you call me up for a gemstone consultation, please do not tell me I want a Ceylon sapphire. I don't mind giving it to you. But I would also explain you the consequences of wearing it or not wearing it. Until and unless you have good houses activated with that planet, do not wear any specific gemstone. Most important to close this specific session, energize, activate, wear the right gemstone, wear at the right time, the right muhurat. Right muhurat is nothing. It's just seeing which specific planet is governing that specific time and what houses that planet is going to activate for you on your chart. That is when a muhurat is given. Like people say, okay, you just see if your moon is not transiting the 8th house. It will give you bad results. Do not do anything. And there are many people who have an exaltation of moon in the 8th house. The same people, they don't have any problems. Yeah, because moon is in dignity. Maybe the person is in the 8th house related profession. People scare everyone with the 8th house whenever the 8th house or 12th house is active. You can always advise the person. And yes, one important tip, people having a 12th house very active, as I always said, and are facing loss, is something which I would like to give it from my end to the universe. Open and open a recurring deposit account. So if you have an account, you're facing a lot of financial crunch and money is just going out, just convert your account into a recurring deposit and start some kind of an FD, maybe 1 rupee a day going, 10 rupees a day, 100 rupees a month. Just let it go. Convert the same saving accounts. If you can't convert the same saving account, open another account, which will be either an FD, a 100 or minimum amount. It's just you're linking yourself with the 12th house so that instead of absorbing your energy, it'll get nullified by doing specific act. I hope you like the video. Stay tuned. Do keep watching and sharing it. God bless you.